This video is to provide information to parents of third grade students in Duplin County schools. It will cover North Carolina Read to Achieve legislation as well as other pertinent information. The goal of the state is to ensure that every student read at or above grade level by the end of third grade and continues to progress in reading proficiency so that he or she can read, comprehend, integrate, and apply complex texts needed for secondary education and career success. Students in third grade will be provided with multiple opportunities to show proficiency. The expectation of the reading program in kindergarten through third grade is that all students will be proficient readers by the end of third grade. Reading will be an integral part of all instruction as foundational reading skills build deeper comprehension skills and allow for success in other content areas. There are several ways to show proficiency in third grade reading. Third grade students will take a beginning of grade 3 reading assessment at the beginning of the school year. Students who score a level 3 or higher on this assessment are considered proficient and meet the third grade promotion requirement. At the end of third grade, students will take a third grade reading end of grade assessment. Students who score a level 3 or higher on this assessment are considered proficient. Students who do not score level 3 will have the opportunity to take the end of grade 3 reading retest. Students who score a level 3 on the retest are considered proficient. Students who are not proficient on the retest will have the opportunity to take an alternate Read to Achieve test. Students who receive a passing score on this assessment are considered proficient. Additionally, any student who scores a 258 or higher on the iStation ISIP Early Reading Assessment are considered proficient. We will discuss iStation in more detail later in this presentation. Lastly, some students may qualify for a good cause exemption from the previously mentioned proficiency requirements. I will cover these exemptions later in this presentation. Students in North Carolina are assessed at the beginning of the year with the beginning of grade 3 reading test. This test is a component of the Read to Achieve program and is aligned to the North Carolina Standard Course of Study. It establishes a baseline measure of beginning third grade students' English language arts or reading skills. Students who score at the achievement level 3 or higher on this test demonstrate reading proficiency appropriate for third grade students, and this does satisfy the requirements of the Read to Achieve legislation. iStation is a universal screening and progress monitoring computer program which provides continuous measurement of kindergarten through third grade students' progress throughout the school year in the following 5 critical domains of early reading: phonemic awareness, alphabetic knowledge and skills, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. The goal is for third grade students to score a 258 or higher by the end of their third grade year. Students have access to iStation practice and content both at home and at school. Students will be assessed regularly, but we do have the following benchmark dates that are set by the state and serve as a formal checkpoint. The beginning of the year benchmark is in September. The middle of the year is in January, and the end of the year is in May. The January and May benchmarks must be completed on-site at school. At the end of the benchmarks, teacher will share student information with parents by sending home the ISIP Student Summary Report. Teachers monitor student progress frequently and will provide focused reading intervention for students who are below the proficiency goals. Students will receive a percentile ranking based on their iStation ISIP assessment, which will place them in either Tier 1, 2, or 3 for intervention. The following chart contains the iStation goals for students at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year in kindergarten, first, second, and third grades. The chart indicates that the end-of-year goal for a third grade student is a 258. This score meets the Read to Achieve proficiency requirement. It is important to note that students in grade 3 will also be assessed in math at the end of the year. So third grade students will take an end-of-grade assessment in both reading and math. However, the Read to Achieve promotion requirement for third grade relates to scoring a level 3 on the reading EOG only, as part of the Read to Achieve legislation. As mentioned earlier, some students may qualify for a good cause exemption to the Read to Achieve proficiency requirement. Students who are limited English proficient and have less than 2 years of instruction in an English as a second language program may be exempted from the proficiency requirement. Students with disabilities who have an IEP that indicates they use the NC Extend 1 alternate assessment, or indicates that they have a 2-year school delay, or that they have received intensive reading interventions for at least 2 years may also be exempted. Lastly, any student who has been retained more than once in either kindergarten, first, second, or third grade may also qualify for a good cause exemption. At this time, I will cover what opportunities and options parents have if their students are not proficient in reading on the third grade reading EOG. Students who are not proficient will have the opportunity to take the EOG retest. Students who are not proficient on the retest will have the opportunity to show proficiency on the Read to Achieve alternative test. Any student who is not proficient on the third grade EOG will have the opportunity to attend a free summer reading camp. This camp will last for 3 to 4 weeks during the months of June and July. Again, the camp will be offered free of charge, and breakfast, lunch, and transportation will be provided. Parents get to decide if they want their qualifying student to attend. At camp, students get the opportunity to show proficiency by scoring a 258 on the iStation ISIP assessment. Additionally, students will receive another opportunity to show proficiency by taking the Read to Achieve alternative test. Students who do not meet any of the proficiency requirements will either be retained in grade 3 or placed in a 3-4 transition class or a 4th grade accelerated class, both with the reading retained label. Students who enter 4th grade with a reading retained label will receive intensive reading instruction. They will have another opportunity to show 3rd grade proficiency by passing the Read to Achieve test or earning a score of 258 on the iStation ISIP assessment. Students will remain in the 4th grade class all year and will still be required to also take the 4th grade reading and math EOGs at the end of the school year. The school principal will make the final decision at the end of the 4th grade year whether the student will be retained in 4th grade or promoted to 5th grade. As mentioned earlier, the Read to Achieve legislation does provide funding for a summer reading camp. This camp is available to students who have not met the end-of-year ISIP early reading score at the end of 1st or 2nd grade. The 1st grade goal is 226 and the 2nd grade goal is 241. And as mentioned before, 3rd grade students are strongly encouraged to attend camp if they are not proficient on the end of grade 3 reading test. Summer camp is optional. Parents will make the final decision regarding their students' summer camp participation. At the end of this document, you will find live links to several resources parents may find helpful. The North Carolina Read to Achieve repository contains frequently asked questions as well as support resources for parents and community members. There is also a link to our Duplin County Schools Read to Achieve website, as well as a link that will take you to the released 3rd grade EOG assessments in reading and math. Parents may find these release tests very helpful in seeing the types of assessment questions 3rd grade students will encounter on their end of grade assessments. Lastly, there is a link for the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction K-12 Mathematics website. This site contains many useful instructional math resources. Please reach out to your child's teacher or your school's principal if you have any further questions regarding Read to Achieve or 3rd grade.